Welcome to the TLB Sports way too early predictions for the 2024 NFL season. We're going to go through the NFC South in this video. I'll be covering every single division and we'll be doing a compilation of all these videos for the entire NFC, AFC, and finally a full 32 team video. So make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that. Atlanta Falcons. Consider Arthur Smith no longer being employed by the franchise as a huge win. Raheem Morris being promoted to head coach has been the right move so far on paper. He's aware that Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson are star players that have been used either incorrectly or not at all. To me, Taylor Heinicke is the much better option at quarterback, and Desmond Ridder is so cheap you can throw him on the bench and forget about him unless someone is desperate enough to trade for him. It doesn't take a lot to win the easiest division in football, but the Falcons will be experiencing growing pains. Just because you say you'll utilize Bijan Pitts in London doesn't mean it will be easy when the quarterback position is still lacking. Record 3-14, don't worry, they still won't finish last in the division. Carolina Panthers. If there was an actual hell on earth, I think it would be Bank of America Stadium. It's not really the stadium that's bad. Well, actually, I don't know. I've never been there, but it's really more about the franchise as a whole. I don't care if Bryce Young has only played one season. They made the wrong choice, and this might have set the Panthers back many seasons before they're a competent football team. Young is undersized, which isn't even an excuse because Kyler Murray is way more talented at the exact same height. He's also looked completely lost on the field, trying to extend a play and getting sacked, turning the ball over. Do I have to keep going? I will say in his defense, his weapons aren't great, but at least Andy Dalton made something out of nothing in his only start of the season. I just don't see how the Panthers situation could get any better anytime soon. My outlook would be much different if they had the first overall pick in this draft, but not even being able to add a first round talent to this already terrible roster is just brutal. David Tepper has really taken the title of worst franchise owner since Dan Snyder sold the Commanders. Record 2-15, I would probably just find a new team if I were a Panthers fan. Saints. This team is in a different type of hell. Cap hell. They have the least amount of cap space this offseason at negative $83 million. Like I said, I'm not an expert on salary cap. I have no idea how they're going to get out of this, but at the time of this recording, they're already working on it. The Saints are essentially stuck with Derek Carr. I'm not sure if you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think it's a neutral thing. He can get the job done sometimes. Chris Olave is a nice weapon, and Michael Thomas is probably walking in free agency. Hopefully he doesn't hurt his ankle in the process of slanting over to a new team. The good news, the Saints have the 14th pick in the draft, and if Rome Odunze is still on the board, he's a cheap replacement for Thomas. Considering the Saints defense that ranked 6th in opponent points allowed doesn't regress too much, they aren't in a terrible situation as a team. Record 7-10, worse than last season. Even the games they win will be boring to watch. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you told me 4 years ago Baker Mayfield was taking Tom Brady's spot in the NFL, I would think Baker brought the Browns their first championship and won an MVP. Unfortunately, it meant he's literally taking over Tom Brady's former team, which still isn't a bad thing. The Buccaneers were severely slept on to the point they were expected to finish last in the NFC South this past season. Baker really found a team where he's understood and accepted, and while he might not be the GOAT, he gets the job done. I don't see a better option for the Bucs under center, and they should pay Baker. They also need to focus on protection for him as center Ryan Jensen is retiring, which is another blow to the offensive line. Mike Evans is also set to become a free agent, which cannot happen. You can't let a guy who's had 1,000 receiving yards in each of his 10 seasons in the NFL go, especially when he's still the best receiver on the team, with Godwin being a close second. The Bucs also utilize Rachaad White greatly, and all around the offense is in a good spot and definitely the best in the NFC South. Just imagine this headline: Florida man takes Buccaneers to playoffs again. Record 10-7. It would be surprising to see the Bucs win another playoff game, but it's certainly possible. And that covers this division. Feel free to leave a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the divisions. And if you missed the first two videos, they're on my channel right now.